big day. Joining me to break it down is A.G. Gancarski, political reporter for FloridaPolitics.com and a columnist for Folio Weekly. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk about the race that has generated a lot of conversation. Congresswoman Corrine Brown in the political fight of her life for Congressional District 5, facing many challenges. But at the end of the day, do you think she pulls it out? She has a strong base, but that base has shrunk with redistricting.
Well, we've seen a lower turnout this election and previous elections because Corrine Brown hasn't had the money to really drive a campaign. She's got about $30,000 in the bank. Al Lawson running against her's got 4 times that. So you're not seeing the kind of aggressive efforts you usually see. You know, she's got the court case also, having a mounted defense for that. That's going all kinds of different directions. So Corrine Brown's basically in the fight of her life. Al Lawson's got Susie Wiles showing her around town. Susie Wiles is a prominent local Republican. Lawson's getting Republican money from PACs, builders and contractors, U.S. Sugar. Traditional Republican donors are giving to Lawson. So, you know, some people are saying that he's a shadow Republican in this race. Third candidate also, L.J. Holloway. She's going to get single digits, but that could be the difference in this race. It's been polling tight. So.
And Al Lawson, former state senator, lives in Tallahassee, so he already has name recognition there.
Yeah, I mean, once you get out west, Baker County and beyond, you know, Corrine Brown is an unknown quantity compared to Al Lawson. So it's going to be interesting to see if she's able to do anything about it. My guess is she needs to stack votes in Duval County, and right now the turnout's just not coming in.
Congressional District 4, it seems like John Rutherford has this one wrapped up.
Yeah, he's got a double-digit lead in the polls. We just did a St. Pete's poll on FloridaPolitics.com. Rutherford 33, Lake Gray 22%. A good performance given he hasn't raised money and he's had issues with the party. And Hans Tansler 17%, which is surprising given that between his PAC and himself, $900,000 is going to that campaign, $400,000 in personal money. But it looks like he's headed for third place. Bill McClure at 10%. He surged populist campaign. But yeah, right now Rutherford's pretty much got it on lock. You know, it's what people predicted going in. It's how it'll go out, but the numbers are going to be closer than what people saw a couple months back.
Speaking of incumbents in the fight for their lives, Corrine Brown, Angela Corey, in double-digit behind her challenger, Melissa Nelson. Do you think she's done?
It's going to be tight. The police union has really heavily pushed for Angela Corey. But when you're down 20 points in the polls, and all you can really do is message negatively, as Angela Corey has, as Wes White has too, helping her in some ways. It's been kind of a difficult thing to watch. You know, my suspicion is that Melissa Nelson is, you know, going to close it out. I think it's going to be closer than double digits, though. I wouldn't be surprised by an 8 to 9 point spread. But, you know, I'm just guessing here. A win's a win for Melissa Nelson.
And they talk about going negative and the power of going negative. And Melissa Nelson's PAC has gone negative from the get-go. And that's when we started to see that tick in the polls.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Brian Hughes is a master of negative campaigning. The First Coast Values PAC has hit Angela Corey hard on everything from giving raises to people in the state attorney's office to other suspicious moves. And it's been something where you just see the deconstruction of Angela Corey, and her negatives are sky high going into this. I can't imagine they've gotten better throughout. So, you know, really we've got a referendum in Angela Corey here, and that's not good news for the incumbent. She's very embattled, getting a lot of negative national publicity at the worst possible time. So it could turn around, but I'm not counting on it.
And Public Defender Matt Shirk was part of a little bit of that negative publicity as well. And you have a retired judge step down to run, and he says his Charles Cofer running on integrity.
Right.
So do you think Matt Shirk is probably done within the public defender's office?
Matt Shirk has had difficulties. There was a WOKV straw poll last weekend. Shirk lost 80 to 20 basically. Shirk hasn't raised money. He had the Fiorentino group helping him raise money. That didn't even help. When Marty Fiorentino can't raise money for you, you're in trouble. Shirk has basically done the act of contrition. He said, yeah, I made mistakes, I'm sorry. But when a grand jury is saying, look, pal, get out of office, then you're running into some issues. I don't think Shirk has countered that. There's going to be a second act in his public life, but it's not going to be on election night.
We have a minute left. We have to talk about the referendum. Mayor Lenny Curry, all his political stock in this. I don't think he has slept in the last 2 weeks, going around shaking hands, getting people to vote for this. Do you think he gets it? I think the latest poll had only a third of the people who were polled saying no.
Right. Lenny Curry, I don't know when he ever sleeps, but beyond that, you know, the trend is positive for the referendum. If you talk to people who know the internal polls, are doing better with Democrats, doing better with African Americans than some might have thought. You're going to see lower turnout on the Democratic side this year. These are all things that mitigate well for Lenny Curry. There's been opposition, Bill Bishop, Stephen Yost, concerned taxpayer types, but it hasn't been an organized opposition. There's just not enough time.
All right, Tuesday's going to be a big day. We'll
Yes,
both
it
be
will.
very busy, and we'll be talking about the outcomes the next day, I imagine, too. A.G. Gancarski, thanks for joining us. Really
Thank you,
appreciate
Paige.
it. All right.
Appreciate it.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.